Hey guys, Kiwi here. In this video, I'll be breaking down and reviewing the second mini-series for Fear the Walking Dead leading into Season 3, Passage. This mini-series is composed of 16 parts, which we'll be going through and breaking down. With that being said, let's jump right into it. Alright, so part 1 introduces our characters, starting with Sierra, who's dressed in a hazmat suit, along with Gaby, who starts out by spying on her due to her lack of confidence in being alone. During part 2, we see Sierra play a trick on her, dressing up a walker in her hazmat suit, using it as a distraction to ambush her. After getting acquainted, they agree to stick together, but can't decide where to head next. Part 3 consists of them debating where to go, as Gaby mentions that there's apparently a tunnel under the border leading to Mexico. She explains how her boyfriend was border patrol and that he went ahead to check it out, but hasn't returned yet. On their way to the tunnel in part 4, Sierra first mentions that she was from LA, along with giving Gaby advice on how stabbing zombies in the head is the most effective way to kill them. As they arrive, a chained up zombie threatens Gaby, but they soon realize that he can't quite reach her. Sierra uses this opportunity to let Gaby practice on killing one, but right as she gains the courage to do so, her boyfriend shows up out of nowhere at the end of part 5, I believe, and shoots it for her. His name is Colton, and he instantly proves himself to be a complete dickhead as he tries to stop Sierra from entering the tunnel with them. He tells Gaby to go in first, but once she's down the ladder, he tries aiming a gun at Sierra but is too slow as she knocks it down and stabs him in the back of the leg. My first time watching this, I was so confused as the situation went from 0 to 100 out of nowhere, and it turns out that Colton is obsessed with no one else knowing about the tunnel, resulting in him turning on Sierra and fearing of her telling other people about it. So as Sierra climbs down the ladder herself during part 8, she informs Gaby that he tried to kill her and that they should leave him behind as he left her originally. So I haven't really mentioned Gaby's backstory too much, but she was originally waiting with her family for Colton to come back and get them once he knew the tunnel was safe. He obviously never came back, and her family ended up dying. We now know that he purposely left her behind as he didn't want to come back for her and risk other people finding out about the damn tunnel. So as Gaby is realizing that her boyfriend is truly a complete asshole, Sierra runs around the corner to get snagged on a tripwire, causing some sort of explosion within the passage to go off. Part 9 starts with Sierra and Gaby gathering their bearings but getting separated. Part 9 ends with Colton catching up to Gaby, grabbing her from behind, along with Part 10 consisting of them talking about how Colton won't allow Sierra to just escape as he wants to find her before they do. Part 11 starts out showing Sierra stumbling around the cave while we hear Colton and Gaby not too far behind her. She jumps into a mining cart in order to hide from them, but is shocked as she turns around to notice zombies in the cart with her. So with Part 11 ending on that note, Part 12 randomly jumps to someone calling Colton's name while he tells Gaby to hide. So Colton's buddy appears and asks him who tripped the wire, resulting in Colton telling him that he doesn't know, but to go back to his post and take care of anyone that he sees. As Colton walks back to Gaby, he explains his full intentions to her as he mentions that they're not in a passage, but a bunker, and that they should stay down there in order to live. Gaby pulls a knife on Colton as she confronts him over the fact that he wasn't going to come back for her, and all Colton has to say is that Gaby needs him, but she says that she'll take care of herself. Ooh, character progression. So anyways, Part 13 ends with Colton trying to stop her, leading to them laying on the ground with him aiming his gun at her. Part 14 picks up with Sierra as she continues to hide in the minecart somehow, holding off the zombie until Colton's buddies lift the blanket, causing the zombie to bite one of them while Sierra fights the other one. Now, maybe Sierra would have actually been able to keep the zombie at bay in the minecart depending on how she might have been sitting on it or whatever, but there's no way that she would have been able to stay that quiet under the blanket, especially considering how loud she was when we last saw her. Anyways, right as she's about to escape the passage, she hears Gaby calling her name and decides to turn around. So Sierra ends up jumping Colton out of nowhere, right as he tells Gaby that she's not worth it. Sierra tries choking out Colton, but right as he tries going for his gun, Gaby actually stabs him in the chest, most likely killing him. Gaby and Sierra reach the exit together past the minecart and finally escape, leaving Colton completely behind because screw that guy. The miniseries ends with them looking over the desert, thankful that they've escaped alive, and we're left to wonder how exactly they'll become a part of Season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead. So first off, I'd like to discuss the whole miniseries idea that AMC has going on for Fear. I like the idea that they have going and I try to enjoy it, but I can't help but complain about how many parts it's broken into. So many moments are broken up by parts cutting away and resuming, and it really takes away from the entire experience. The whole miniseries just feels kind of sloppy. I don't know if maybe they had low production or if they had to work around things. I can deal with cliffhangers such as when Colton pulled the gun on Gaby, but let's look at, say, when Sierra set off the tripwire, for example. One part ended with her shoe hitting it, along with the next one starting out with them all smoky laying on the ground coughing. We don't see or even hear an actual explosion, and the show just implies that it happened. And again, maybe this is just them getting around not being able to afford an actual explosion or whatever it was, but there's so many examples like this that I could go into, but for now I'll just say that I wish it was broken up into smaller parts, as the total combined time could have still only been 12 minutes or so that it was, but if it was broken up into 4 parts other than 16, it would have worked a lot better, at least in my opinion. Maybe they wouldn't have been able to skip around as much as far as the location goes, but whatever, man, do we really need that? I would have much preferred 4 fluent parts with actual cliffhangers and a bit better production other than these 16 choppy parts. I felt this way with the first miniseries Flight 462, and I feel the same here. With that being said, I see potential for Sierra becoming a badass character, but I'm skeptical on how likable her and Gaby will be in Season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead. Speaking of which, how will they even relate to the show? Was Colton at all related to the militia threat that we have currently going on in the show, or were Colton and his 2 other friends just completely alone together? If I'd have to take a guess at where we might see Sierra and Gaby pop up, I'd say that maybe we'll see them appear at the same community we know Russell's a part of. Russell is the man who found Ophelia at the end of Season 2, and we know that Madison, Nick, and Alicia end up at this community, so maybe they'll run into characters from this Passage miniseries one way or another, but we'll just have to wait and see how they show up. We've still yet to see Alex return since we left off with her during the end of Season 2A, as I've been making prediction videos on her possible return ever since. I saw a lot of potential for Alex in Season 2, and they just kinda left her, along with Jack, so we'll just have to see if they make a return as well. Maybe some of these characters stole the Abigail, I'm not sure, maybe they'll team up with the Passage people, who knows, man. But anyways, before this gets too off topic, I'll end the discussion here, so let me know how you guys felt about all of this down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your opinions on the Passage miniseries, along with maybe suggestions on how they could make them more enjoyable in the future. If you've enjoyed anything I've said today, feel free to leave a like on the video or even subscribe for more Walking Dead content in the near future. But that's pretty much it for the video, guys, so thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.